Welcome to your Barbados Today evening news update for Friday, September 7. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Barbados has agreed to a $290 million program with the International Monetary Fund. The big announcement came today as Prime Minister Mia Mottley and the chief of the IMF mission to Barbados, Dr. Bert Van Selm, held a news briefing at government headquarters.
This is what we call an extended fund facility, or an EFF. That's a 4-year program that is appropriate for countries that are in problems that require a bit more time to address structural problems. So the access under the program, the amount of money is roughly $300 million US dollars. So given the need to rebuild reserve quickly to reestablish confidence, it is what we call a little front-loaded. So we would have 8 equal tranches under the program over this 4-year period. The first 4 would be $50 million US dollars, and the second half of the program, the last 4 would be $25 million each, roughly. So yeah, we believe that with this program, it gives a lot of opportunities to support ongoing structural reform. So we think it's the right.
Prime Minister Mottley says the IMF deal signals to the rest of the world that Barbados is on the road to recovery.
It is catalytic in being able to unlock access to funding for the country. Immediately upon board approval, which we hope to be in a few weeks' time, it will also unlock funding from the Inter-American Development Bank, we believe, and the Caribbean Development Bank, other institutions. And it allows us to move forward with a level of certainty and to send the message that Barbados has a good prognosis and that we anticipate that growth will return, in our view, within 2 to 3 years, in a way that will allow us to be able to bridge the lost decade, but also move forward to a new set of performance criteria that will add value to the people of this country.
Meanwhile, there's word that bus fares will rise, but not to $5, so says Prime Minister Mia Mottley. She noted that pensioners and police officers will continue to ride on the bus free of charge, but a decision is still to be made on whether school children will continue to enjoy a free ride. Mottley told reporters that an increase was long overdue, pointing out that Barbados has only had a 50 cents increase since 1991.
We are sensitive to people's plight, and that's why there will not be a $5 bus fare in Barbados, but we have to increase the bus fare from the $2. And as to what it is, the advisors will tell us what is necessary, but still does not place a burden on the persons. And the government will continue to maintain its role to support those who cannot carry that cost, as we've always done.
In other news, the Barbados Met Service alerts Barbadians to closely monitor the progress of 2 weather systems over the central and far eastern Atlantic. At 5 p.m., both systems were upgraded to tropical depression status. Of significant interest is Tropical Depression number 9, which is located near 13.6 degrees north, 34.9 degrees west, or about 1,555 miles east of the Lesser Antilles. The system is currently stationary. Some forecast models indicate that the system has the potential to develop further over the next 4 to 5 days, and based on current projections, it could pose a threat to the islands of the Lesser Antilles as it approaches the region towards the middle of next week. The second system, Tropical Depression number 8, was located near 13.2 degrees north, 18.6 degrees west, or about 405 miles east-southeast of the southernmost Cabo Verde Islands. On the current projected track, that is, this system is forecast to move well into the North Atlantic by the middle of next week. The Met Office says it will continue to monitor the progress of these 2 systems and will update the information as necessary. 5 of the island's primary schools will not reopen when the new school year opens on Monday. Bailey's Primary in St. Philip and St. Luke's Brighton in St. George will resume classes on Wednesday, September 12, while Eagle Hall Primary, St. Margaret Primary and Thelma Berry Nursery School will start on Monday, September 17. The ministry explained that the delay was due to the summer repair program. Our news team visited Eagle Hall Primary, where work is continuing. Contractor Michael Harris says his team will be working around the clock to finish the job.
I only had the contract to do one block on this school, and the block is this block here on my left. All the windows that it was contracted to install is on the job, and everything be ready for Sunday.
Meanwhile, it was a busy day in town as parents wrapped up their back-to-school shopping. Retailers told Barbados Today that despite the recent removal of the National Social Responsibility Levy, Barbadians have been spending cautiously.
I don't think they're buying any more, no. In fact, the last couple of years we found that in the past, parents will fit their kids with 5 of this and 5 of that. Last 5 or 6 years has been like 2 of this, 3 of that, 2 of that, and come back when they can afford it in October, November, to pick up more, etc. So we have not seen an increase in the amount of items sold because of this.
I'm seeing an increase in the amount that customers are purchasing. Last year you would have persons buying like 3 shirts or 2 shirts, but this year I've seen an increase in the amount of shirts and pants that persons are buying again.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
BIT's Central Bank Meets Blockchain Conference is the only conference in the world that brings together regulators, governments, and private entities to discuss how they might work together using blockchain to make a positive impact on the lives of the people in the Caribbean.
We are so proud to host this forum, which allows for constructive dialogue and engagement because it recognizes the transformative potential of distributed ledger technology and the work that BIT is doing in the region.
Blockchain technology has the power to address the demand for easier and real-time KYC solutions while improving overall KYC standards. With the advent of digital currency, these AML solutions can strengthen compliance like never before.
We have an excellent lineup of speakers, including our keynote speaker, the Honorable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Alden McLaughlin, Premier of the Cayman Islands, Dr. Jack Meaning, economist from the Bank of England, Therese Turner-Jones, the General Manager for the Caribbean Division of the IDB, and many more noteworthy speakers who you don't want to miss.
The Inter-American Development Bank supports this event and is our platinum sponsor. We're so grateful to them for their support and acknowledgement of our work.
We hope you can join us on September the 18th, 2018 at the Hilton Barbados Resort to hear what leaders in the region and in the blockchain space have to say about the role of blockchain technology in promoting social inclusion, financial empowerment, and economic growth for this and future generations. See you there.
To news from our regional neighbors now, teachers in Guyana are back in the classrooms after calling off strike action. The development comes on the heels of an agreement between the Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education on Thursday to take their grievances to arbitration. More in this report from Capital News.
The two sides also agreed that there will be no victimization by either side and there shall be no loss of pay and seniority. An elated Mark Light, GTU's president, said today was a good day for the union and for teachers. He noted that the matter is now out of the hands of the government and the teachers union.
We insisted that this matter should go to arbitration, and we have achieved that today, much to the pleasure of our members, because we did not feel that this process would have served us well with conciliation. So today we have achieved that, and immediately we have signed on to terms of resumption that the union will be calling the strike off with immediate effect for those teachers who can resume duty tomorrow, but we are sure that full resumption will be on Monday.
chaired by scores of teachers who stood outside the Ministry of Social Protection Department of Labor Brickdam office. Light shared the good news with the teachers.
We have agreed on terms of reference. Most important is that no teacher who was part of the strike will lose pay.
And finally, on the international scene, former U.S. President Barack Obama on Friday urged Democrats to restore a sense of sanity to politics by voting in November's elections. We get the details in this report from Reuters TV.
You need to vote because our democracy depends on it.
Former President Barack Obama on Friday gave the speech disillusioned Democrats were waiting for. As he begins to stump for candidates ahead of November's midterms, the former president on Friday shifted from elder statesman to fierce campaigner, adding to his rhetoric of hope a searing condemnation of President Donald Trump and his GOP enablers, hitting everything from nationalism to tax cuts to global warming and Russia.
Over the past few decades, the politics of division and resentment and paranoia has unfortunately found a home in the Republican Party. It did not start with Donald Trump. He is a symptom, not the cause. None of this is conservative. It sure isn't normal. It's radical.
Speaking in front of students at the University of Illinois, Obama warned against what he called the threat of indifference and said this election was too important to sit out.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and Bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a fantastic weekend.